An article by Dave Anderson in thehill.com, Why the Radical Center Must Be the Future of American Politics. So some of this is just semantics, but he's talking about with the election of Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, we need to have a radical center. And he talked about, I guess Dave Anderson ran for Congress and talks about we need to take care of the working people. We need to stop having polarized politics. I disagree with this 1,000% in terms of, well, I agree with what he says about we need to take care of working people, but that's not the center. That's not the radical center. That's the left. That's socialism. That's the thing that people were fighting for in this country post-industrial revolution at the end of the 19th and beginning of 20th century, right? After the Depression, people were fighting for socialist causes. It was FDR that came in with the New Deal, which was fairly socialist. And that's what we need to fight for. This moderate bullshit, this moderate language, this centrist language is why we have basically one party, which is one corporate party. And there's the Republican wing and the Democratic wing. They're all the same. The Democrats are just for pro-choice and gay marriage. That's the only difference. But both parties serve the corporate needs. They serve pro-war. They serve pro-banking, pro-oil, pro-big pharmaceutical companies. So this guy really misses it. And it's more of this sort of apologizing or still having faith in the Democratic Party. Now, he puts a tweet about how Rahm Emanuel says the Democrats wandered off from fighting for working families, which is absolutely correct. That is correct. That's the thing. Obama didn't really fight for working class people, and then Hillary came in with her I'm with her campaign that didn't help at all, right? But that's a left-wing thing. And again, the thing in this ad, it is an ad for keep the establishment Democrats in power is what this is it's making the conclusion that like independents are centrists. That's what it's saying. The point, Macron and his followers can talk about the radical center because people talk that way in France. We need to talk. We need a way to talk like that will work here. The point of view speaks to millions of Americans, many of whom vote Republican and Democrat today, but who do not identify with the far right of the Republican Party or the far left of the Democratic Party. Well, the Democratic Party, there's a progressive wing of it. And if you want to call that far left, that's fine. But the Democratic Party is a corporate party. They currently sit in the middle and many are independents. That's a mistake. That's the flaw of this argument in this article, is that independents sit in the center. No, independents are tired of the two parties that are both corporate propaganda machines. That's what an independent is. And an independent can be anything. An independent can be a right-leaning, a far left, a far right, a centrist. But to say that all independents are centrist is incorrect. And I want to read this part because this is what he says about Bernie Sanders. Although millions of Americans demonstrated an appetite for a socialist candidate for president in 2016, namely Senator Bernie Sanders, we are not ready for a candidate that is a radical in any sense of the term. No, fuck you, man. You're not ready. The corporate Democratic Party isn't ready. Bernie had it. And the thing, and Noam Chomsky said this in an interview recently, the most significant thing about the election, he goes, it wasn't Trump. It was Bernie Sanders who did this without any corporate money, without any big corporate backing. The people just got behind him, and then as Noam Chomsky refers to it, then the Democratic Party shenanigans kept him out of there. So America wanted this. And I believe had Bernie gotten the nomination as he actually won and it wasn't stolen from him, he would have gone around as he's doing today. As candidate Bernie Sanders would have gone around to all these red states and all these coal mining towns and said, I'm going to help you. Don't listen to this rich Trump guy who's a trust funder whose dad gave him millions of dollars and bankrupts his own companies and still keeps failing upward. I'm going to help you. A socialist, a populist, a progressive platform will actually help people. And this is bullshit. Don't be afraid of the word socialist. That's the other thing, and that's what this guy is doing. He's, socialism is a boogie word. Run as a socialist and say, yeah, if the term socialism scares you, then you should be scared of public schools, of street cleaners, of snow plows, of trash removal, of the fire department, of libraries, of all these socialist things that we have that make our society actually better. So he talks about, and I guess he ran on a thing of, paid maternity leave and childcare to $10,000 a year and all this, which is a decent platform to run on when he ran for Maryland's 8th congressional district in 2016. But those are left-wing socialist platforms, my friend. And then at the end of the article, he says this, it's time to articulate these values and policies, but it's necessary to drop the phrase radical center and find a new one. Whether this point of view can be embraced by the Democratic Party or needs an outsider or outsiders to the Democratic Party, only time will tell. But this point of view is an option for Kathleen Matthews, chairman of the Democratic Party in Maryland, and Montgomery County's Tom Perez, chairman of the Democratic National Committee. The radical center point of view, renamed, will be opposed to the Trump point of view, but will build on the anti-establishment theme of the Trump administration. Yeah, well, first of all, don't call it the center, because it's not. What you're talking about is left-wing policies. And if you honestly think Tom Perez and any of these other jackasses are going to change, you're dead wrong, Mr. Anderson. You're completely wrong. We need a firm progressive. Progressives acquiescing to the right and to the center are part of the problem. That's why we have no resistance, because the Democratic Party is a corporate. The Democrats are Republicans. And the Republicans are now just... The joke my girlfriend Lindsay makes, she goes, the Democrats are now Republicans and the Republicans are Hydra. So stop pussyfooting around socialism and stuff from the left. Just own it, embrace it, and tell working class people in the middle of the country it'll be better for you. Unions created the 40-hour work week. Unions created overtime pay. Unions created sick leave. Unions created a 5-day work week with a 2-day weekend. Unions, left-wing, socialist, populist unions created those things. Why don't we goddamn embrace them and bring them back? Let's go back to FDR. Let's, as the Green Party calls it, let's come up with a Green New Deal and have jobs for everybody building green energy. Let's have $15 an hour work week. And and anytime these goddamn corporate Democrats say, well, it's, single payer healthcare is pie in the sky or $15, no, just go, no, you're wrong. Here's the evidence. And this is the thing, this is the kind of shit that like this article just feels more like something somebody would say on a talking head show on CNN or some crap like that. So I'm not gonna go along with this crap. This is why you guys come here to support independent media, is I'm just gonna call bullshit on this. And don't show me a photo of Tom Perez standing in front of a come together, fight back nonsense. I don't want to hear Tom Perez. Oh, and he's got a fucking rainbow button. That's what I say. It's the Goldman Sachs of the rainbow flag. That's the Democratic Party. And it's right here in their photo that this guy Dave Anderson put there. Dave Anderson, I don't know you, sir, but you're missing this. The country is voting on a local and state level overall for progressive policies. The Democratic Party just missed it. They just back Silicon Valley and California, New York, and Chicago, and they don't go out and talk to working class people. They don't do that. Obama resonated with them because they were coming off 8 years of getting screwed over by Bush, but then Obama did very little to help them. So why would they stick with that? Most independents think differently. They don't want to be in the center. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate you guys not wanting to just accept this. Oh, we got to go along with this Democratic Party, Tom Perez nonsense. Nope. Say no. My Patreon link's below. Like and subscribe. You guys are fantastic.